I have fallen a little bit behind recording these previews this season. Started by happening so close after the new year, Final Fantasy XIV FanFest, and now waiting till today to record these, when I would normally be playing Final Fantasy XIV. I can't because the servers are down. Boo-hoo. Gives me a chance to catch up with anime at least. What are the 4 shows we're looking at today? These are 4 shows which I haven't really been anticipating, because there's not much this season I have anticipated. But shows which could be good, but they might not be. What do I think of them? I'll let you know in the video. What do you think of them? Let me know in the comments. And join me, because this is a 2024 winter anime preview from a different perspective. First up today, we have The Foolish Angel Dances with a Devil, a demon meets angel anime about a demon who decides to travel to a human world to infiltrate it and seek out new allies to help in the demon's ongoing fight with the heavenly realm and the devilish angels who are attacking it relentlessly. He's seeking out allies who can rally his forces and be the beacon of hope to the demons of the demon realm. And wouldn't you know it, Akatsu seems like he's found his girl when he runs into the tiny, beautiful, but seemingly charming Lily Amane, who is the most perfect picture of wonderfulness you've ever seen. It just so happens that Amane is not all that she seems as well. See that she is actually an angel. And not just that, she sees upon himself a quality that isn't worth just killing. She's just going to toy with him, make him her slave, reform him into a perfect being rather than being a demon. This isn't making sort of your standard cute girl is actually kind of a bitch anime, turning the main character into her pet. But this feels like it's going to evolve into almost like a romantic comedy setting. But it does have a problem that a lot of these anime do, that it could get a bit too fetishistic. I mean, it's already had him in chains and a very, very sensual colouring of him, as she slowly but surely pierced his ring. Well, I mean the hole which the clasp goes through and the collar. But it might as well be in what I said earlier. The presentation of a Foolish Angel is very pleasing. The characters seem fun. The premise looks fun. The characters aren't overly annoying. But that will depend on how they play up the potential comedy between the two in later episodes. This one's got some alarm warnings for me. It has potential, by all means. A lot of these shows do. But the alarms are worrying me. I'll probably watch a few more episodes of this one. It looks like it's something which I would enjoy normally. But is this one worth sticking to? I can't let you know in this preview, we've only seen the first episode. If you do want to watch more Foolish Angel Dancing with a Devil, you can find it on Crunchyroll. 'Tis Time for Torture Princess is a rather interesting name of a new anime airing this season. It's a comedy anime about Princess Hime, who's been captured despite being wielder of the most powerful sword X. Captured by the Demon Lord and held captive by his army and is tortured for new information. Sounds like a grim, dark series, doesn't it? But like Napping Princess, this is most definitely not your standard type of torture, as the Demon Lord's minions don't seem to understand how to torture people properly. As in the first episode, she's tortured with hot, warm, delicious toast, with takoyaki balls, and with a steaming bowl of ramen. Seems hunger torture is not on a menu, but all the delicious foods to torture you with wanting to eat them are, as slowly but surely Hime cracks and tells Tortura all her secrets. Naming is not something this anime has got done very well, as the main character is a princess called Princess, the sword Excalibur called X, and the torturer is called Tortura. Tortura. Don't know how to pronounce it. She said it better in the anime than I do. This seems to be very much almost like a 4-comma anime. It's gag followed by gag followed by gag. 3 gags an episode, all about torturing a princess with not very good torturing methods. And there's not really much more to say about it than that, really. It's a fun show. It's not really going to offend anyone, unless you really don't like torture. Then again, you can't really call this torture, can you? If you're going to watch This Time for Torture Princess, you can find it on Crunchyroll. The latest in a long run of series of anime about people being reborn as villainesses is upon us. As Villainess Level 99, I may be the hidden boss, but I'm not the Demon Lord, is about a girl who gets transported to another world as a villainess of a game she loves so very much, who is not the Demon Lord, but is the hidden boss. And she just happens to be level 99. But what really attracts me to this anime to begin with isn't the setting, it's the way it portrays its first few minutes of the episode, where rather than showing us the villainess being reborn and her realisation it's another world, it actually shows you the anime of a game where you're introduced to the main heroine character, not the villainess first of all, and it plays out like the game would. Only to find out that this is actually the villainess, or her villainess in a former life, playing the game as herself, before revealing the track that yes, there's also a villainess character in this game, and yes, I'm now her. There's not a huge amount of premise in this first episode. We know she's a villainess, and we know how she becomes so powerful, and a big shock reveal at the end of it is the thing which is part of the title, in which she's now level 99, and she basically spends the entire childhood just going adventuring in dungeons, levelling up to a maximum ability so she doesn't die to a hero of the game as a hidden boss. She also intends to spend her time in this world avoiding the main characters of the game so she doesn't get any suspicion upon her, so she doesn't get killed at the end of her school life, which she really doesn't want to do. So it's a villainess trying to avoid being killed. We've seen that one before, haven't we? And avoiding the main character, yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? Really? This anime ticks a lot of the same boxes a lot of other anime have done before it, but it does so in a interesting way. It's not exactly the same. I'm intrigued to see where this one's going. I'm a sucker for an isekai show like this, especially a villainess isekai, because they tend to be more fun these days. There's a reason they become so popular. This is clearly one of the reasons. If you are interested in watching Villainess Level 99, you can find it on Crunchyroll. Finally today, we have Dr. Elise, the Royal Lady with a Lamp. An anime about a super professional surgeon girl who is perfect at her job, world renowned, gets called all over the world to do emergency operations because she has magic healing hands which can save the day. The reason why she's got those super magic healing hands is because she worked hard for it. She lived her life and worked hard as an orphan, learning all the medical stuff she needs to do to become a well-renowned healer, loved by everybody, until one day she just dies in a plane crash. The reason why she's working hard despite being an orphan is she remembers her previous life vividly. She was a noble lady from a random historic town, being burned a mistake for being mean and nasty. She lived a life for herself and died because of it. So reborn into modern times, she lives a life to help everybody else and is not rewarded for it. And once you know it, when she dies in this plane crash, she's given a second chance. A third chance maybe. But not as a modern doctor this time. She's back in the body of herself in her past life. Elise. And it's actually 10 years before she died. So she's given a chance not only to be reborn back in the original timeline, but also to redo it. If you're thinking about the plot of Team Moon Empire, then you're not alone. That's what I've got on my mind right now. Because this is basically the premise of that one, just with future time travel and future knowledge, instead of remembering how she died. Rather than having a cheat book of how things work, she's got a cheat book of memory of how things worked, and a cheat book of modern medical knowledge, which is clearly going to use to save a day and become a well-renowned doctor in her past timeline. Not about being burned for being a bitch. If she's not too careful, she may be burned for being a witch. Now, I'm probably judging this one a bit harshly, but after taking the premise of one of my favourite anime from last season, Team Moon Empire, it kind of makes it slightly more shallow. It adds a lot more cheat modes into the already cheaty premise. And even though Elise is cute and is very friendly, and she's definitely got the power of hindsight on her side, she's nowhere near as charming as Mia was in Team Moon Empire. I don't think anyone could be as charming as that, could they? And so I don't know, I might give this one episode or two more, but it's not one which doesn't really stand out for me. It's an anime plot we've already seen before, done worse than very much a pinnacle of a show we saw last season. Everything just seems to fall into place for her, which really doesn't feel like it should do. But if you do want to watch Dr. Elise, you can find it on Crunchyroll. That was The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil, 'Tis Time for Torture Princess, Villainess Level 99, I may be the hidden boss but I'm not the demon lord, and Dr. Elise, the Royal Lady with a Lamp. 4 shows which weren't as bad as I thought they'd be. But what did you think of them? As I said earlier, let me know in the comments, and join me next time. Bye bye.